Alright, let's see if this is up and running. Let's see here. Alright, what's going on, guys? Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Welcome to another episode of the DCTV. I missed last week, had some family obligations come up, but super excited to attack the slate this week. Good Friday slate. We've been dealing with a couple of in-season tournament games the last couple of days, so kind of a boring-ish NBA week, but we got a good, I think, how many games we got tonight? 8 games tonight, so it's usually like the amount of games I like attacking. More than 8 to 10 is like way too much to um, handle at once. But definitely like the games tonight. We'll get into the injury reports like usual. Just want to make sure I can hear myself. 1 second. All right. And as always, if you guys have questions, go ahead and ask them at any point. I will pretty much address them right away. Yeah. So here. All right. Okay, so starting off with the first game of the day, we got the Wizards and the Cavs. Um, Interesting thing to note here is that Evan Mobley did participate in practice yesterday, but he was only doing standstill shooting. So, with that being said, be very careful playing Cavs today. I do anticipate him sitting, so I do like Jarrett Allen. However, with the blowout, um, looming, it's pretty much guaranteed to be a blowout. It's a 17-point spread. Just be very cautious of the players that you play from this game. Maybe stick to first half props here. This game will likely get out of hand towards the end of the third, beginning of the fourth quarter. Okay. On the flip side, I do like some of the Wizards today. Even though it will be a blowout, I do like Bub Carrington quite a bit. With Brogdon out, with Kuzma out, I was looking at his assists actually at 4. Oh, we can't see the chart today, but I do like his assists at 4. On top of that, Keontae George, which is another big boost for Bub. So yeah, consider his assists. Even though that it will be a blowout, he does play a lot of that garbage time as well. Just mainly due to the fact that he's a young piece, rookie. They need to get him the reps. Moving on to the next game, we got the Pacers and the Sixers. This one, it's hard for me to read the Sixers this year with Joel in and out of the lineup. Definitely, hard to play any props from that side. I know a lot of people like Kelly Oubre today. I think his points are at 11.5, I believe. Let's see here. Yeah, 11.5. Not the worst play. The Pacers are giving up quite a bit of points to shooting guards as well. On the Pacers side, nothing really, shines too much for me here. We'll get more into the props and stuff in a second. Just want to cover mostly injury report first. On the Hornets and the Bulls game, a lot of moving pieces for the Bulls. I do anticipate some of them getting traded before the deadline. But for right now, we have 4 players questionable. We got Vooch questionable, Patrick Williams also questionable, Levine is probable, and then Josh Giddey is also questionable. So with teams like this, it's really hard to, make a stance. With, a lot of players possibly sitting, we can't really make any, I guess, confident reads here. So, going to stay away from them for now until we get a couple of injury reports from that side. On the Hornets side, still no LaMelo Ball. Miles Bridges is questionable. He hasn't played in quite a while. They did have a good break, and he was questionable the game before the break. So, I do think he will suit up today. And he always has good usage, especially when LaMelo's off the floor. So, look for him to start being aggressive as soon as he gets back, and hopefully that's today. The Lakers and the Wolves. Rough game for the Lakers here in Minnesota once again, which is a really bad turnaround for them. They were back home for, I think, a couple of games, and then right back on the road again across the country. So, no LeBron. I don't know what's going on with him, stepping away for personal reasons. Hopefully everything's okay. Kind of odd at this moment in time with everything else going on, but with LeBron out, you got to look towards AD. You got to look towards Rui. You got to look towards Austin Reeves. However, this matchup is just really brutal. Um, you have AD with a lot of usage, yet he's going to be going against, one of the better defensive bigs in the league. I think Rudy's very overrated, but you still have to give him, a top 5 defensive center ranking. With Reeves, I think this is a little bit of a easier matchup here compared to AD. And that's still a really difficult, statement to say because the Wolves are pretty good defensively versus guards as well. But with the usage, you got to look towards one of these guys to score the ball. If not, the Lakers are probably going to get blown out by 20-plus points once again. For Brooklyn and Memphis, really interesting one here as well. No Cam Thomas. Keon Johnson has been starting for Cam. I like the usage for shooter here. Cam Johnson looking pretty good with the usage. Door open, back to the door, crazy. Would expect more. I have to keep it open because my dog is in the background. So she likes to go in and out. Finney Smith also would likely pick up the start today. Minutes have been pretty consistent for all the Nets starters. So outside of Schroeder and maybe Claxton, I'm not looking at too much for the Nets side. For the Grizzlies side, a lot of good moving pieces here as well. Zach Edey's still going to be out, so Brandon Clark should pick up the start. I do like John Morant. I do like Desmond Bane quite a bit. We'll look into their props once we get into those games. The Clippers and the Nuggets. Clippers are dealing with a lot of injuries still. No Kawhi, no Terrence Mann. So, again, their minutes should be really consistent. They've been playing the same rotation. The only real difference here is Batum's going to start. And, he hasn't started a single game this year, so I don't really know how to read that one. But they have it projected to start as of right now. So we'll see how that pans out towards game time. But I do like Harden today. We'll look into that in a little bit. On the Nuggets side, Christian Brown probable. Aaron Gordon probable. Jamal Murray questionable with an ankle, I believe, hamstring. He was able to go through portions of practice. Said Murray is limited in what he can do. Will likely listed as questionable for tonight's game versus the Clippers. So big one there. If Murray ends up sitting, Westbrook will get the start. Big bump to Gordon, big bump to Porter and Jokic, of course. And Westbrook will be getting a lot of that usage as well. So big injury news that we need to make sure we. What kind of dog do I have? I have a small Cocker Spaniel Poodle mix. He's a very cute puppy. But I live in an apartment, so don't really got space for a big dog yet. The Suns and the Jazz game. Suns are getting Kevin Durant back today, which is honestly a surprise. I think, a lot of people thought he'd be out longer, but only missed 3 games. Pretty quick turnaround for him. And I really like the fact that the Suns are healthy going into the new year because they've always been pretty, rattled up with injuries, whether that's Booker, Beal, or Durant. They're all pretty much healthy now, so this one should be a pretty convincing Phoenix win tonight. Marketing probable on the Jazz side. I like Walker Kessler. The Phoenix Suns have been getting beat around in the paint. Walker's been really, really solid. The only downside here is that Marketing is probable, so it does take away a little bit of usage, but Walker's not a guy that gets a lot of usage in general. Zoom in. I can try to zoom in. That's easier. On the Spurs and Blazers game, I do like a couple plays from this one. A lot of guys are still questionable for the Blazers, but I do like Shaedon Sharpe. I think he's going to be picking up a lot of usage moving forward. Been playing pretty good basketball, shooting the ball a little bit more. He will play that garbage time as well in some circumstances. But yeah, I definitely like him out of all the Blazers. On the Spurs side, Wemby's in a good spot for whatever reason. Even though the Blazers are really bad, they do limit centers, so that's something to consider. But we'll look into that a little bit deeper in just a second. But also keep in mind, Zach Collins is out, Keldon Johnson's out, Trey Jones is out. So also Castle's out as well. So big bumps to the guards. Shapagny, Harrison Barnes, Devin Vassell. Those guys should all get 30 plus minutes tonight. All right. So with that being said, let's take a look at the board. We'll try to keep it pretty short and sweet, and we will go over any questions that you guys might have. So generally, what I do is I like to go from rebounds and assists and then work my way back. So that's what we'll do today. And yeah, let's get to it. So first game, looking at a couple props here. Again, I like Bub Carrington's assists mainly. You can play the RA if you want. Donovan Mitchell. Again, the charts aren't working today for the most part, I don't think. So I'm not going to be able to visually show you guys any charts, but if you want, I can use StatMuse. I don't want to get any copyright with any other site that we might not be able to show. So Donovan Mitchell's not bad. Again, blowout risk. I like Jarrett Allen first half props, especially if we think Mobley will sit. He can have a really strong half, maybe even like a double-double in one half with Mobley out versus the Wizards. What else was I looking at? Shooter, RA, definitely not too bad. One thing I do want to say is with Ben Simmons in, he does take a little bit of a usage decrease in terms of the ball handling department. Versus Memphis, he played them twice this year, I believe. He had 10, and then I think the other game he had a lot of, 33 and 8. So, so 8 and then 10 this season so far. Desmond Bane, not a bad play at 9 RA. The only issue with Bane is that his minutes have been pretty weird. Some games he's getting sub 30. Some games he's gonna get 30 plus. But it seems like as of late, they've been bumping his minutes north of 30, which is encouraging. But 6, 15, 6, 12, 7. But this is a pretty good matchup, so we'll circle back to this one. What else are we looking at? Vooch is not a bad play. The Hornets are giving up a lot in the paint as well. 13.5 RA. We'll pull up his log. Oops. See, so not that bad of a play. One thing I do want to also pull up is this. I would recommend using this for all your DVP needs. You can filter out for last 7, last 15, last 30. You can use, but not too relevant at the moment since it's still early in the season. But yeah, we can look up. Let's see here. The Hornets giving up a little over 14 rebounds and 4 assists per game to bigs currently. What else? Zoo. I see a lot of people talking about Zubac today. I wanted to see his log versus Denver. Played 2 games this season, had 13 RA and 19 RA. One more thing I do want to give you guys as a tool is use this player passing tool. Super useful to see the potential and the volume of whichever player you're trying to take over for. So you can use it for passing or / assists. You can use it for rebounding. Those are the main things I would use it for, but you can also play around with the other tools they offer. But yeah, so I'm going to look at Zubac versus Denver. Let's see if we can pull it up. Okay, so last game, Zoo had 5 assists, 7 potential. Let's see if we can pull up all. I don't know if it's going to work like this. Sometimes it's really buggy, so just try to play around with it. Let's see. 5 and 7. And then the next game. he had another 7 potential assists. So something to look at here. If you definitely think he gets around 3+ assists, then the RA definitely worth the play over just the rebounds. But pretty popular play for a good reason today. If Jamal Murray sits, I think Aaron Gordon's a fabulous play for the RA. But if he plays, I'm probably going to be just fading that one. Jokic, 22.5 RA. I think I took Jokic over last time too versus the Clippers. And I think he covered. Yeah. I don't mind this one. If Jamal sits and Westbrook starts, then that's kind of a play I'm looking at that potentially would be a downgrade, actually, the more I think about it in terms of the RA department. Let's see. So this season had 5 games. He covered in every single one, actually, besides the last one, which he hooked. So overall, I think Jokic is solid with or without Murray. Should be a great play, actually. What else? KD at 9, always a really solid number for him. Wemby 15.5. Let's see, Wemby. One game this season, 12-8-2 with 4 steals, 3 blocks. Are they still giving up few rebounds? Weird. Yeah, for whatever reason, Portland's been giving up very few rebounds to bigs. But I don't know. Maybe circle back to that one. Shaden Sharp at 7 RA. I like that one as well. But the other prop I liked for him was actually the points and assists at 19.5. Or the points and rebounds at 21.5. Either or. Definitely like those. Fantasy as well. You can play that. Let's see. '27 versus the Lakers, 34 minutes. Let's see, anything else? Versus Spurs in 20 minutes had 19 fantasy. So I do think the minutes are starting to trickle back up. Look for him to be more aggressive. 15 field goal attempts last game. North of 15 the last couple of games before that as well. So I like Sharp today. Oh, some of the logs are back up now. Let's see. What else? Pretty much it for the RAs. I do like Jokic though. I want to maybe look at the other props they have for him. Ooh, the assist one with Harden actually is not that bad. Let's see. 11-16 this season versus Denver. This one might be it. 36 potentials versus Denver. Denver giving up, let's see, the 3rd most assists to point guards as of late and on the season. This might be my favorite prop of the day. Jokic and Harden over assists. Randall threes. I'll take a look at that in a second. But I love this prop. Think Harden can go for 10 plus himself too. So if you want to play Harden only, that's not a bad play. Well, we'll start with that. We'll create a stream slip while we're here. Randall threes, you asked. Let's see. 2.5. Let's see. Let's see his volume as of late. Lakers went 2 for 3. Didn't really shoot the ball that much. If you're playing his 1.5 line, I believe on Sportbooks they might have that one up. It's not bad. If you're playing a demon prop on Prize Picks or playing alt lines on Sportsbooks, I would say just sprinkle it. The volume isn't high enough for me to be comfortable with it. Okay, so we'll start with that. I think I'm going to play Bub Carrington at 4. As the second play. Hold on here. 2 of 10 potentials last game. Damn. Let's see. So last game, 33 minutes, 2 assists, 6, 1, and 2. Let's see who played last game. So here, kind of the same thing. 10 potential assists, only converted 2. The lineup's going to be pretty much the same today. Oops. It's going to be the same today. So I do think the volume there is phenomenal. Let's see the game before that. Sorry, my girlfriend's work stuff is still attached to my computer, so ignore those notifications. What am I doing here? Game before that, also another 10 potential. So love the 4 line here. Counting for 1.5. Yeah, that's not a bad line. I definitely would say that's a solid over. Schroeder at 6 assists. Wouldn't mind the Schroeder line either. He's over in both games versus Memphis this season. Again, the only downside is the Ben Simmons usage decrease, but at 6 is pretty low actually, especially with no Cam Thomas too. Jaw's okay. Kuliabi for 2.5 assists. Let's see, is he up on the board? If you have him on other sites, I definitely like the 2.5. I took him at 3 the last couple of games. Kuliabi. Yeah. What about Bilal? Could play RA? Yep, don't mind that. Cleveland, rebounding wise, a little bit of a tougher matchup if Mobley plays. If Mobley doesn't play, then it does open the floor a lot for boards. Yep. Okay, so we'll start with that. Let's keep adding on to this. Try to come up with the stream slip. Man, Morant 21.5. Cam Johnson 19.5. What else we got? Vooch 19.5. That's kind of enticing as well. What else? I liked Walker Kessler PR, which I think at 21.5. Yeah, 21.5. Not too bad. Let's see if he played the Suns this season. Nope, they have not played this season yet. Phoenix, as of late, giving up a ton to bigs. Holy. And Walker's been playing a good amount of minutes, too, so I kind of don't mind playing his PR today, even though Lowry is back. 32 minutes with the blowout. He's playing the blowout run, I think, right? He's got to be. Let's see if we can pull that up. When's the last time they played? December 8th. Alright, box score. Q4. Yeah, Walker was playing the blowout run too. So, I actually really like this play. Let's add it. I'm going to play the PR, I think. Actually, no, let's play the PRA. Because what are the chances? You can only help by getting an assist, right? Yeah, let's play the PRA. 22. Okay, so we got 3 legs so far. You going to be doing UD slips as well. Yep, I'll look into that for sure. Let me tweet this out real quick. Oops. 1 second. Okay. So 3 legs down so far. Let's keep it moving. We got 3 more legs, and we actually have Call of Duty starting as well. So if you guys are into Call of Duty, I may be dropping a play right before the games start. But we'll see. So 3 legs down. Let's see what else I wanted to run. Looking at Wemby Fantasy, just because of the nature of this matchup, but I think 55 now. Sheesh. That is tough. Wemby at 55. I might have to reconsider that one, to be honest. What else? What else? What else? Joel at 50 now? Jeez. Let me just go play Sharp. The thing is, with Sharp, I gotta figure out which prop I want to run. Because I like the fantasy, I like the PRA, I like the PR, but nothing I feel like super confident in as of right now. Yeah, I love the Harden and Jokic line as well. Gotta figure out what else I can run. Got a little bit of a late start to the day, to be honest, so I'm still kind of glancing over stuff. D'Angelo assists at 6.5. No LeBron against Minnesota. He should start today. No, they're gonna bring him off the bench. I'm not gonna lie, we could see some Bronny James minutes if he's active today. Any news on Mobley being out or in? So the last thing I heard was he did standstill shooting. So whatever that means, you know, I would say it's an indication he might sit today, but you don't know. I mean, he could also recover pretty quick overnight too. But again, if we get news that Mobley is out, that's a huge boost to Jarrett Allen. I think is the number one guy. Unless we're going to stick with a 3-leg, call it a day with this. I wouldn't mind. I feel really confident in these three. Any news on Joel Embiid? I believe he's active, not on the injury report today. It's the Wizards that don't need to push him out there, low-key. Yep. Yeah, so feel really strong about these three props. If you guys want me to look at other ones that you guys might like, go ahead and suggest anything. I'm pretty open right now. I'm still just doing my first initial glance. So, let's see what else. Braun looking good. Thing with Christian Brown is I just don't know how much I trust that usage with Murray in and everyone healthy. But if Murray's out, yeah, I definitely would say the minutes are pretty concrete here. It's safe. Wouldn't be opposed to playing him. Norman Powell, PA, or just points? Let's see. 21.5 versus Denver. Beal, Ari at 6.5. I don't mind that one, but with Durant, I think it's a huge bump down for me. Norman Powell at 28. Damn. Beal, yeah, just talked about it. Dang, Norman went off both games versus Denver. Denver's defense has been horrible lately. Anthony Davis, PRA. Again, it's so hard for me to trust AD today. I know LeBron's out. Great matchup. Great usage boost with LeBron out, but horrible matchup. So hard for me to trust AD at that high of a line. What else? Beal at 7 now. Maybe play Zoo here. Maybe play Zubac RA. I also wouldn't mind playing Zoo with Jokic in a different lineup. So 4 legs down. Let's see what else we can look at. Anthony Edwards, hit or miss for me. AD always destroys Rudy. Didn't they just play a couple of days ago? He had 12, 11, and 5, 4, 14 shooting on the road as well. Again, I think the usage bump for AD is phenomenal, but at a line of 44, he's going to have 30, 12, and 2 tonight. I think he's going to have 30 points. Tough, though. Tough. Not a line I'm comfortable taking at all. But if you like the over, don't let me talk you out of it. I definitely think like the stats line up for it. All right, 2 more legs to complete the stream 6, man. Let me look. Man, a lot of the guards are kind of enticing. How about Sohan? Sohan, will he start today? He will, I think. 23 minutes. Weird that he played 36 out of nowhere on his first start of the season, or since coming back from injury, and then he goes back and plays limited run in a close game. Synopsy went under. Yeah, I expected that one. He had a pretty bad map one. Alex Sarr rebounds and assists. Davi G killed it. Yeah, it was 11-1, and he had one kill, and they came back, and that's why he went over. Just unfortunate. Sohan, I really like Sohan today. No Castle, no Keldon. What are Sohan's lines at? 21.5 PR only. I may have to play this one. What do we play though? RA, PRA, PR? Maybe I'll play the PR here. And then finish it off with Sharp or something. Sharp PR. Let's see. Tough though, tough. You think Austin Reeves rebounds looks good at 5.5? 5.5? What line are you playing that at? Demon line? Oof. Austin Reeves has not been in a good whatchamacallit. He hasn't been good for rebounds this season. I'll tell you that. But with LeBron out, I mean, definitely will help out a little bit. But still, 5.5 for the demon line. I think there's better demons out there today. All right, we need one more. I'm gonna play Sohan. Let's find out one more leg. If you guys have any suggestions, now's the time. I'm pretty open. I might play Vooch, PA, maybe. Let's see, 22.5 for Vooch. This could be the play here. 22.5. Hornets giving up a good amount to centers right now. Over the last couple of games, let's see. Miles Turner, bad game. Jarrett had a double-double. Mobley had 40 and 10. Towns had 27-16. Capella 4 and 14, but Onyeka 16 and 11. Bam had a triple-double. Mo Wagner 16 and 8. Brook 13 and 8. Isaiah Stewart 13 and 9. Jarrett and Mobley killed them again. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Vooch here, and that'll probably complete this slip. MPJ rebounds. 6.5. Yeah, that's not a bad line. I like that actually. 6.5 is really solid. But yeah, this is gonna be the slip. If you like it, tail it. If you don't tail it. I'll enter it for you guys. If there are any plays that you don't like on this slip, then take it off. I'll try to zoom in. If there are plays that you do like, then play it. If you like the whole slip, play it. If you don't like the whole slip, again, there's completely up to you. Some of my favorite plays, if you're asking for like just 2 out of the 6, I really like the Jokic and Harden one. I love the Bub Carrington line, but my play of the day would probably be the Jokic and Harden. But if Mark is off minutes restriction, Vooch might try. What does that mean? But yeah, so my favorite play is the Jokic Harden one. My second one is probably Carrington. The riskier ones are the bottom 2, I will say. So you could take off the bottom 2 and run the power 4, mix and match however you like. But yeah, that'll be it for me today. Appreciate you guys tuning in to the DCTV. If you guys have questions, please feel free to ask. Use my promo code below. The premium's only $12 right now. Like, literally only $12. So, from now until the end of the year, $12. For the diamond package, it's like $24. So I just cut all my prices by like 60-something%. So, get in the Discord. Literally $12 once again. Super cheap right now. Um, try to run it up before the end of the year, buy some Christmas presents, and get the vibes going into 2025. But yep, that's it for me today. Good luck with your bets. Have a great weekend. Have a great Friday. Be safe. You don't see any of the plays I post. Go and make sure you link your Discord on the DubClub website. Sometimes people will sign up but didn't link their Discord, so there's no way for us to get the roles attached to your username, etc. So make sure you hit up support if you have questions. All right, guys, have a good one. Good luck and enjoy the next segment on DCTV in just a couple of minutes. Peace out.
All right, Racha, I appreciate you, brother. We have two absolute legends joining us in a second, but just to reiterate, Sriracha, he's got his deals right underneath the stream there. There's a graphic. There's two different links. One is for his diamond package. One is for his basic package. I think this is potentially the cheapest they've ever been. So if you've ever been looking for an opportunity to join Sriracha's Discord, obviously it's a great time. He's got his diamond package for only $24 and his basic package for $12. He just obviously showed you some of his process, and the dude knows exactly what he's talking about. And it's a great slate tonight. He gave you a free play, but we're going to be transitioning into some other guys here in a second. Oh, looks like Mailman joined. Mailman, what's going on, brother?
What's going on, man? How's it going?
It's going well. How are you?
I'm great, man. Thank you.
Awesome. We're just we're waiting on his partner in crime here, Spade. But to start off, Mailman, do you want to tell the people the offering that you guys have going? I'm going to link it underneath, but if you want to talk to the people about it.
For sure, yeah. Both Spade and I right now are doing free DubClub till Christmas. So make sure y'all lock that in with us. Just trying to feed the community. That's what it's all about.
What's going on?
There he is. What's up, Spade?
Has arrived.
What's good? What's going on, boys? Do I sound okay?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Getting a mic soon. It's gonna be the AirPods for today.
This is all process, okay? Day one is not going to be anything near, day 2, day 3, day 4. So we're going to get better with every stream. I'm going to tweet this link at you guys right now. I'm going to tag you guys, say DCTV is live with Mailman and Spade. And then I'm going to drop your free until Christmas links underneath. And make sure, which one are you going to screen share? Is there one in particular, or are you guys going to rotate? Cool. All right.
Mr. Mailman.
Mr. Mailman. Okay. Do you want to pop that up real quick, make sure it works okay, and then I'll hop out of here, shut up, and let the experts actually talk ball while I enter those plays in the background. Sweet.
Yo, Liam.
Yeah.
I've got LeBoo in the background.
LeBoo. There we go.
Yeah, she's sleeping in the background. She's cuddled up though.
Spade's dog is Boo Bear LeBron. What is it? Boo LeBron.
Yeah, she's her middle name's LeBron, so her name's Boo, but she's got the LePug status. She's got she gets called LePug a lot.
Well, I mean, I'm glad I'm at least presenced by some fellow brown sexuals, so
not a good time for it though.
No, true. No, maybe we don't cover that yet until there's more info. But yeah, all right. Well, I'm gonna hop out of here, guys. I'm dropping your links right underneath the stream. I just tagged you guys in a tweet, letting people know that you're in there. So get your people in there, get them in the chat,
all right,
and feel free to run long too if you need it. So
yeah. Are we already live or is it rolling?
Oh, we're live. We're running.
We're live, buddy.
All right, perfect.
All right,
perfect.
See you, fellas.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Well,
let me show you this link real quick. Yeah, but
what's up, everyone? Welcome to the first DubClub stream. With
what's good, everybody?
Spade. We're just gonna take you guys through some NBA plays that we're liking today, and then maybe get a little bit into the NFL slate for this Sunday. Get some early locks going. So that is the plan. All right.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Go ahead and tell them where they can find you, and then I'll tell them where they can find me as well.
Right. For sure. Well, I'm just on X, Mailman Locks, or Twitter, however you want to say it. I'm pretty one-dimensional. This is pretty much the only spot you can find me, and then obviously my DubClub, and then Spade.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Spade Prize Picks, Instagram as well. And then obviously you can find both of our DubClub links in the comments. You can get both of our DubClubs for free until Christmas, so make sure to check that out. But we've got a couple plays each that we're going to get into that we've been livening up for you guys. So we're excited to get into that. But yeah, I'm sending out the link real quick to our Dub Club. So if you want to start with one of your props, that'd be
Yeah,
perfect.
for sure. All right, let's get into it then. So we got a nice bigger NBA slate today, which is finally it's been a while with all the cup games, but the first spot I was really looking at today was the Hornets Chicago game, and I'm liking me some Misic today. Me and the club, we snagged it at 6.5 assists last night for Misic assists. Without LaMelo Ball, he's been absolutely diming this season. The potentials have pretty much been like off the chart. He's averaging 7.2 assists and is covered in 4 of 6 without him. And then he's averaging 58 passes made per game on 14 potentials per game, which is like by a wide margin the most on the Hornets. And then it's just a perfect matchup with the Bulls allowing the most assists to opposing point guards. So pretty much just a dream spot. And then I know Spade's got a little correlation play with that spot as well. So we'll dive
Yes,
into that.
sir. All right, so yeah, going straight with that, I've got a play that I love for this game as well. If you can go ahead and go to Brandon Miller.
Already on that,
So
sir.
the books have caught up to it, but let's see, what are the odds on this? You can still get it at pretty good at minus 125 DraftKings, minus 115 MGM. But I love this spot for Brandon Miller to go over 3.5 3-pointers made. If you haven't filtered without LaMelo Ball already, which is
Yep.
great, but I love this spot because the Bulls rank 22nd in defense to above the break 3-pointers, which Brandon Miller shoots 58% of his shots from that area. And he's over in 4 out of 6 games without LaMelo.
Take a look at those
He's also
3-point
seeing a
attempts,
ton
too.
of usage, averaging 34.3% usage rate without LaMelo.
Yeah. Solid spot. Those LaMelo absentee beneficiaries are really shining through when that man's gone. So those are two great spots from the dime perspective and some hucking perspective. Brandon Miller will take 30 shots. He will shoot 30%, but he will hit 4 threes. That's just how it goes.
Yeah, he's seeing a ton of attempts. Also, they rank 25th in defense against the pick and roll ball handler, which is how he also gets a ton of his shots up. So overall, just a great spot for Brandon Miller to shoot a ton of threes. We all know he's going to be chucking it, and he's going to be catching some dimes from Mailman's play.
Yeah, Mr. Misic. It's a hard name to say. I don't blame you for not trying. So that's kind of the first spot we were looking at for both of us
Definitely.
today. Yeah, so we were just kind of jumping around. Didn't There weren't too many leans in the Indy and Philly game. We'll get back to those, but right now we're just going to kind of go sequentially on these spots that we already posted up today. And then I know the next one that I got is going down to the Clippers game versus the Nuggets. And my spot for that game, I think it's seen a little bit of movement, but it's still in a solid spot. I was looking at Zubac RA. It's become pretty community today, but honestly for a good reason. It's just an absolute beauty of a spot. He actually has an 80 at the line I got him at. I got 11 and a half last night. So let's take a look at that. Yeah, 84% hit rate on the season. He's averaging 14.5 rebounds assists per game. He has a
Yeah, this
100%
guy's
hit
been
rate
printing.
against the huh? Yeah, he's been printing
Yeah.
100%. And then this season, hit rate wise, 19 and 13 RAs, which was absolutely dope. And then the Nuggets are allowing the 5th most rebounds to centers this season. And in their first 2 games, Zoo had 29 and 16 rebound chances. I know one of those games he didn't convert that well. Yeah, only 8, but with that level of chances, I'm sure that's like chalked up to variance. You can assume that he's going to correct himself and get back in the green with that. And then another spot on that was it's 100% hit rate against teams with bottom 15 rebounds allowed this season. The Nuggets ranked 21st. In those games against those bottom 15 spots, he's averaging 15.4 rebounds assists per game. So I just honestly think it's a little bit mispriced. Even with like Harden coming back and everything like that, it just seems a little low for me.
Would you take it still at 13.5 if anyone has to get it at that line?
That's a 2 spot bump. That's a little rough. I
I
would
know,
try
that
to
is
alt that.
crazy. It's moved a lot, bro.
Yeah, I'd alt it down to 12 and a half if you can, and probably play it with like a dejuicer or something like that. Like just try to. I still try to get a little bit of value because at 13
That
and a
was
half,
some
that's
great late night
yeah.
value you got, though.
Yeah, always up, always working. Yeah,
Yep,
but
yep.
13 and a half is a little bit tough. I mean, it's at plus money, which is that's solid, but I'd honestly, if you could have 12 and a half available to you, I'd definitely take that.
Yeah, so if you want to transition that into my pick for the same game, go ahead and switch on over to James Harden rebounds and assists.
You snagged
So
it at 12 and a half?
No, I got it at
13
13 and a half.
13
It's
and a half,
moved to
right.
14 and a half on a lot of books. I got it at 13 and a half. I know it opened at 12 and a half, which is crazy, but I
Ridiculous.
still love it at this line. But to get into that, if you actually can add the filter with Norman Powell this season,
Yep.
because with him coming back, that does change up a lot about how they're going to be playing.
Yep.
It's a good thing he's back. He's a baller.
There we go.
But yeah, so the hit rate gets a little better with Norman Powell, and he just can get more assists with Norman Powell. In games with him this season, he's averaging 16.4 rebounds and assists, and he's covered in 11 out of 17 games, as you can see right there. And last week against Denver, and this was with Norman Powell, he had 18 potential assists and 16 rebound chances. And he converted that into 20 rebounds and assists. So that was like really good conversions, but that's still a ton of potentials. So I love the spot overall for him.
Yeah, I agree. The Nuggets just bleed. They bleed assists to point guards, and James just has their number. So I do like that spot as well. Even
Yeah,
he's got some rest too. He's had like 5 days off or something like that, so he's coming fresh.
that part, and also they also give up a ton of points in the paint. And with Zubac obviously healthy as well, feeling good, he's seeing a ton of usage. He's going to be getting a ton of dimes to Zubac.
Yeah,
So I love that
I
spot.
agree. They're gonna need him on the road too. 6 point spread, so blowout doesn't scare me much, and I think the Clippers will keep it comp for most of it. So I think he takes that pretty easily. All
Yeah,
right.
overall, a good spot for both of those guys to get a pretty high usage night.
All right, I'll funnel into my next spot. Let me find that. It was, which game was it? It was Brooklyn and Memphis, and then it was PR. It was our boy Cameron Johnson. All right, this is my next spot for today. I snagged him at 23 and a half last night. I still think it's playable at 24 and a half without Cam Thomas in the lineup. That's kind of the deal breaker. Well, not the deal breaker, but the deal maker. So without Cam Thomas this season, it's been beautiful, absolutely glorious. And then just a couple stats to cover with this. He's covered in, what is it, 4 or 5 games without Cam Thomas, but with Dennis Schroeder in the lineup. And then his volume has been like really, really good. He's seeing 16.4 field goal attempts per game over that stretch right here. Obviously, you can see that. And then he scored 48% of his points this season on above the break threes. That's where Memphis, they ranked 26th defensively in that spot. And then Memphis is actually also allowing the second most catch and shoot threes per game, 29.1. And then Johnson leads the Nets in catch and shoot threes, and he's averaging over 5.4 attempts per game. And then another little thing on the rebounding is without Cam Thomas, Johnson has averaged 5.4 rebounds on over 10 rebound chances per game, and the Grizzlies are allowing the 10th most rebounds to opposing power forwards this season. So overall, it's just like I just think it's a banger spot. He's been lighting it up, and those rebound chances is really what draws me into it. Like anytime I see double digits and I can just add that to a spot that I already like it points wise, especially when we snagged it at 23 and a half last night, and his points line is at 19 and a half. I just think there's some value there with that for sure.
Yeah, looking at that, the analysis of that spot, that's a really good spot. Could you show me how many field goal attempted he's been averaging?
Yeah,
Did
so
that say
this with
16?
yeah. It's
16?
16.4 per game, yeah. So with
Damn,
Schroeder
bro.
in the lineup and without Cam Thomas, it's sitting at 16.4 per game.
Honestly, that's a really good value spot. He's seeing a ton of volume, shooting, and rebounding.
Yeah, check the chat. Somebody said 14 and a half. I think that was for Zubac.
Oh
I don't
yeah.
know what
Also,
that.
guys, make
Yeah,
sure to drop anything that you
yeah.
guys want us to take a look at in the chat. We only got a couple other spots that we really like for today ourselves. After that, we're just going to be checking out a couple spots you guys like, talking with you guys, probably transition to NFL after that. So we want to get the chat active. So we'll be checking that soon. I'll be checking it right now. So yeah,
Yes.
appreciate you guys.
Yeah, like you said, drop anything and anything, everything and anything. We will be taking a look at it. So,
Yeah. Did he
all right.
say you got asked about Zubac at 14.5?
I'm not quite sure what that was in reference to. If they want to resend that, I don't know. I don't think Zoo is at 14 and a half, but if it is, I don't think I would take that. I think that it's not enough value there for sure. But yeah, do you want to funnel into your next spot?
Yeah, definitely. So another power forward that I'm liking. Go ahead and go over to Pascal Siakam.
Yep. You got boards, right?
Yes, sir.
All right.
So Dude, something I saw that was crazy earlier is before we hopped on here, it was a 1.4x on chalkboard, so that's like negative 160. As you can see, I think that's reflecting Caesar's line.
Yeah.
But you can still get that at negative 140, minus 146 on like FanDuel and similar in DraftKings, minus 140. But this spot I really like for Pascal today. If you can filter that defense to the power forward specifically, we can see that they're allowing the 26th most rebounds to opposing power forwards. And also, this increases whenever Joel Embiid is on court. So, with Joel Embiid playing today, I think he's going to see a ton of opportunities. He's averaging 6.6 rebounds on the season, and Philly, he's averaging 11.9 rebound chances as well, almost double the line. So, he's going to see a ton of usage today coming off rest, and I think this is a great matchup for him.
Value spot for show. And then Zeke? Yeah, Zeke in the chat. Okay, I said it was Harden RA 14.5. That was the question. Appreciate it, Zeke.
Harden RA at 14.5. That's actually, that's one of at 14.5, I think that's still a take. Probably for half a unit instead of a unit. I've got a unit on 13.5, but it's still available at at MG.
Wow, that bump is crazy.
That's actually crazy, bro.
The fact that people got it at 12.5 is nuts, and it's even
at
14.
It opened at 12.5 last night, and then I got on it at 13.5. But at 14.5, that's definitely still playable in my opinion. But for half a unit instead of one unit.
Yeah, definitely don't over-index on that. That's some crazy closing line value that some people got. Shout out WizBets. Shout out the boy.
Yeah, for real.
Got it at 12.5. All right.
That's some crazy opening line value. That's really good.
I'll follow into my last official spot for today then.
Yes, sir.
Get over to that. I think it's definitely juiced now. It was juiced last night, and I managed to snipe it a little bit at minus 135, I think, on 365, but it's Wemby threes. And if we're kind of looking over the last 10, that's what I'm kind of looking at. So it's kind of just an auto play. It's kind of the same thing as Brandon Miller. The volume is just absolutely insane. It's kind of like how do you not take it? Right, so for Wemby, he's obviously covered in 8 of his last 10 games, and he's averaging 4.5 makes per game over that stretch. And the Blazers allow the second highest three-point percentage on catch-and-shoot threes at 42.4% this season. And then Wemby actually leads all Spurs in catch-and-shoot threes attempted per game with 6.6. And then he's attempted 9+ threes in 9 of his last 10 games. And his only sub-9 attempt game was actually against the Pelicans, where he played only 25 minutes. And then the Spurs are a little bit banged up. They're going to be without Castle, Collins, and Keldon Johnson today. So just a little bit more just uptick in volume, kind of taking that and obviously diversifying those however many field goal attempts would have gone to those guys, to Wemby and others. I think it's just a solid spot just based off volume alone for sure.
What's the spread on that game? I'm actually trying to take a look right now.
Let me see. I'll peep it right now. It's a 3-point spread.
Okay, that's
Spurs are 3-point road favorites over the Blazers.
We've got like banged up versus banged up.
Banged up versus trash. The Blazers
are
not good. Yeah, but I don't think the Spurs are good enough to run away. Yeah, no.
Yeah, definitely not. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, that was a good value on there too.
Props Profit's gonna watch Wemby cash live tonight. There we go.
Oh, that's pretty fire, bro. Yeah, I want to see him in person as well. That's gonna be exciting for sure.
Dude, you're there. Even when you're there, you can't even tell just how like humongous these dudes are. I can't even imagine. It's all 7'7". Wemby.
Yeah, I gotta hop on court with him.
Yeah, dude. They don't know anything about the spade post-up game. Don't let them see it.
For
all
right.
Wait, Zeke. No, we're not in the same dorm.
We got the cribbos, bro.
Yeah.
I'm in the cribbo.
Yeah, I'm in the apartment. Oh, yeah, no freshmen, no dorms.
Yeah, I had a dorm a couple years ago.
Yeah.
But I got a little controversial one for a play that I've got. I got it at plus money. It shifted to about even odds. You already know. We were chatting about this earlier. Let me get Anthony Davis under 3.5 assists. So without LeBron, last game he just saw a ton of shooting volume, and he only had 2 potential assists. Now that is not something to go off of alone. That is an outlier in my opinion of AD. If you do look in the last 10 games without him, we see he only covered in 3 out of 10, but he was averaging closer to 5 potential assists per game. So if he's seeing only about an average of 5 potential assists, he's going to have to be really efficient to convert on that and get 4, in my opinion. So I just like this spot for Davis to potentially not have 4 assists. I did go lighter on it because it was +1. When I got it, it was +110. When I posted on Twitter this morning, it was +105. So that's what I'm going to be tracking, but still a good spot, in my opinion, to wager on today.
Spades sets the lines. Lock in with him. Single-handedly moved it.
Yeah, we're looking at that now. That's pretty solid.
that is very
minus
good value.
-129 Caesar. Like to see that.
Yeah.
-125 FanDuel. That's always good to see.
Yeah. Also, just a little tidbit. If you can get multiple books and multiple DFS apps, that's how you find the best value. Don't settle for these fugazi lines on one app if you can diversify into others. Like, don't take those prize picks, like 4 assist bumps. Like, just diversify.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, like Pascal was never even available on Prize Picks at 6.5, but he was available for a long time on both other DFS apps.
Exactly.
But
so just find the best value
scam picks.
For you. Scam picks. It's in the name. It's in your name, dude. You can't be saying that,
dude. I know that's.
There's no response to that. There's no response to that. But yeah, no. Diversify your books, diversify your DFS apps, get the best value you can. That's how you become a long-term profitable bettor. All right.
You got any leans for today that you want to get into that you were looking at?
We can just take a look. Honestly, I had nothing super strong. I was doing the late night lab session last night. Something that did catch my eye a little bit was Maxi assists. I think it was at 5.5. It's juiced. Wow, holy! It was at like -120 last night. But last game against Chicago with PG and Embiid, if I'm not mistaken, he had 23 potentials and he attempted something like 87 passes. I was looking last night. That was crazy. So I don't know. That was definitely a lean, but honestly, at this juice at like 150, 160, 140, probably not playing that. But
with Embiid, with Embiid, his numbers definitely go up, and
that too.
I feel like his line is a little skewed after that huge performance with the 14 assists. But
I mean, I think the odds definitely are. I don't think that should be
exactly.
I wish it wasn't -1.
No, it wouldn't be 4.5, but the -140. Earlier, if you got it when it opened at a better price, but
too juiced. And then really quickly rolling off of that, it was a little correlation I was looking at last night too. So this also bumped. It was at 28.5 last night. Embiid in this one I kind of liked as well. Just the Pacers' paint defense is just not good. And then I think something crazy in the head-to-heads was his free throw attempts. Yeah, like they can't stop the man, and he's gonna do everything in his right mind to get to the line. So I don't know. That was a little bit of an interesting look.
What's his free throw? Maybe. I wonder what his. I'm gonna check what his free throw line on DFS apps is. Nah, they won't have a good one on Prize Picks for sure. Hold on. Not to diss him a million times in the stream, but
hopefully the reps aren't here. Dude. No.
It's okay, bro. They can hear it. They know that we like to take from them. Let's see here. They don't even have a free throw line available for him.
You're never gonna be in a commercial.
Oh, never mind. I'm wrong. They got it at 8.5 at plus money to go over.
Is that on chalk?
Yeah.
I do like that.
So honestly. 9 free throws. Honestly, that might be a little spot that we just found right here because we didn't talk about.
Is that attempts? That's attempts, yeah.
Oh, I thought you were looking at free throws made earlier, but that's still solid. He's gonna make it to the line at 10.
Is that 9.5?
No, that was
line.
No, that was free throws made for him to make 9 free throws. What is it? Yeah.
Okay. His free throws made.
I mean, I feel like that's pretty accurately priced. He's gonna make it to the line at 10 though. Look at that. We got a covering in. Yeah. That's crazy, bro. What a merchant.
Yeah, he's a merchant. Him and Shea.
They better have won that game.
Up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love me some free throw merchants.
Yeah, he had 42 that game. You can tell. Yeah.
Check the chat. We're getting some spread asks, some game total over unders. 228 in the Memphis game. Dude, I
like Ja Morant. Actually, can you actually go to Ja Morant's points assists?
Yeah.
It's a spot I was looking at. Yep. Let's see if it's still at 29.5. I still feel like that's pretty playable. I haven't played it
It's
myself yet.
29.5.
I really wanted it at 28.5 where it opened.
You
Unfortunately,
opened
none
at
of my
28 and
books
a half.
had it at the time. Yeah, dude.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. You can already see that's moving pretty.
Yeah.
You can still find it at a solid price on
So,
Caesars
you can
and
find
GM.
29.5.
Yeah. Yeah, it's still playable in DFS apps at 29.5, but that's definitely probably going to end at 30.5 today. Everywhere, that's a spot I was looking at, I think, coming out off of some rest. Jaw's going to look really good. If you go to his potential assist as well, honestly, the Grizzlies look pretty good when they're all healthy. We've got Desmond Bain
Jaren
healthy.
Jackson.
Obviously,
Bane's back, right?
yeah. Yeah, that's if you
Yeah.
actually could you just see the difference when Bain is healthy?
Yeah.
Because he's been dealing with some on and off stuff.
There we go. With the boy. I think.
Yeah, honestly, he
So
has a solid matchup too. I could see him scoring like close to
Yeah.
15 points. I think his line was actually priced around that, like around 14.5.
I was peeping that last night. Is this
Is that what it
This
is?
is his first game. Yeah, it's
15.5? Yeah. So Bane's back. I think it's got honestly be the over on that 228.
It's not a bad spot. 228, but
Yeah,
blowout's always a concern when there's a 10-point spread involved. But
that's
is
definitely
it?
true. But
It's in Memphis too. I don't know if I trust the Nets on the road.
yeah, John might hoop too hard for Brooklyn. Who knows? I love John Morant today.
Cameron Johnson's gonna have something to say about that. Take the Nets to cover. No, I'm joking.
Dude, yeah, I mean
Cameron
that could
Johnson.
even be a little spot to if you want a little action on both sides of that game. I like that spot for
Yeah.
Cameron Johnson as well.
Yeah, that was a little find. I was kind of shocked when I saw that line. I thought it'd be up near like 25, 26 and a half range. So that was something,
What's
definitely
what's
something.
what's that line sitting at right now? And what'd you get it at?
Cameron Johnson, I got 23 and
Yeah,
a half. I'm pretty sure I think it's only at 24 and a half. So it's still, I
that's
still
still a
like it.
great play.
Yeah, I'm still a big fan of that spot.
Yeah, definitely. Well, if you want to we can probably go into
Go into
NFL if
NFL.
you want to and
Okay.
just do
Yeah.
our game by game after we go through our spots that we
Okay.
like.
Yeah. Do you want to peep? Let's peep the chat real quick, see what the people are saying
Yeah,
about some
definitely.
questions.
Yeah,
So,
make sure to drop any questions you guys have in the chat. We're checking that actively. If you guys are new here, make sure to check us both out on Twitter. And you can find both of our Dub Clubs for free until Christmas in the comments.
in the
So,
chat, baby.
yes, sir. We're
All right.
about to probably transition over soon, but we'll answer any questions if you guys have any about
Yeah.
NBA.
So we got Spida Mitchell for 4.5 assists going up. Let's peep that. I already know that instantly scares me blowout wise. 16.5
Yeah,
point spread. Let's
the
peep
Cavs
that.
have been lethal at times. Although, and also, did you see that Evan Mobley could possibly be playing?
He might play now. I saw he's
Yeah,
questionable.
he was at shoot around. So if he does play, I'd honestly stick off of any Cavs
Yeah,
props
I'm not with
until
that.
then. Because also, if you do look, I think Mitchell's assist potential goes up without Evan Mobley. I don't know. Maybe
From a
I'm
passes,
wrong.
probably from a passes
Yeah,
made standpoint.
yeah. But
I mean, yeah.
I mean,
Let's peep this. Okay, 4.5 assists. Like instantly, like if I don't
it's a
have to,
high
I
line for
don't like to.
Mitchell.
Yeah,
I mean, not
yeah,
even
it's
high,
all
but
right.
not even high. But
If I could
I don't know. He's
steer,
been covering recently, but
I like to steer clear of spots that can hit me with variance, where a 16.5 point spread definitely has some room for some insane variance with guys maybe
yeah,
not even playing the fourth quarter. So I
we
normally like to
got
stay away from spots like that.
we
But let's
got
see with Garland.
Long Live Juice World in the chat asking about
Who's
Vukovic points. I'm pretty sure Vukovic is questionable with
He is
illness,
questionable.
meaning
Yeah,
he probably should play. But I think he's playing. But
I think it's a good matchup
um,
too. Let me see
it is
Chicago.
a good matchup for Vukovic
Yeah,
if he
for the
does
paint.
play.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for
And
Vooch.
then
Let's see.
he also asked about Maxi assists. We recently went over that. Obviously, he just had a 14 assist game. Pretty crazy. His line's at
Mm.
5.5 juiced on the over. Mailman had that as a lean of his. Obviously, his numbers do go up with Embiid. I don't know if you
Embiid.
officially
Yeah.
had that as a lean. It was just something you liked.
No, it was a lean, but at Juice now, last night when I was looking at it, it was like minus
Yeah, that's
120,
fair.
minus
We kind of came
115.
up with the conclusion that it's a little bit
It's Juice, man.
lost its edge.
I mean, I definitely, it's still definitely a playable spot, but for me, I want to see more sample size with like Embiid and PG there, because like that
Yeah.
passes made last game, that was against the Bulls, right? And the Bulls they bleed assists to point guards. So even
Yeah.
though like it's still a solid matchup, like I want to see if that really like game to game is Maxey going to be making 87 passes with PG and Embiid in the lineup? Like I don't know. So I
Yeah,
just want to
definitely.
kind of see how that evens out. Like I
Yeah,
don't
so
really want to risk it on such a juice spot, you know.
go. I'm actually gonna take a check myself on the Bulls injury report.
Yeah, I could
See if there's
pull that up.
anything. Yeah,
Yeah.
go check that out because Vukovic will have a good spot. And also something is Josh Giddey and Zach LaVine. I think Lonzo Ball's playing. He's probable. Patrick
See,
Williams is going to play a couple minutes tonight as
yeah.
well. That's something to consider. 20 to
Yeah, he's
24
20 to
minutes, I saw.
25. I saw, right? I think
Yeah.
it's something like that.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
so
floor of 20 minutes for Patrick Williams. It's definitely something to consider. I don't know if I personally want to play Vukovic points. What's his line at?
19 and a half.
19 and a half.
It's not from a hit rate
What do you
perspective,
think?
it's not horrible. I
Yeah, I mean,
honestly
he's been
haven't,
hooping. He's been going out of his mind recently,
yeah,
but
I haven't dug into it too much, but the problem with him is, man, one game he'll take 12 shots or 10 shots or 14 shots, and the next game he'll take like 6 or 7. It's like there's a
that's
couple of them
fair.
down here, but I just feel like with him, you don't know if you're getting passive Vooch or if you're getting like full
From
steam ahead. Yeah, I don't
personal
know.
perspective, he's respected my coin this season.
He has for me too. He's the only player that hasn't hooked me to a devious
Really?
degree. So no, I don't
Oh,
know. But
got
he
like a
hasn't.
little
I know he
list.
hasn't hooked me. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. The list
got
is
the
really
hook
long.
list. They're cooked.
Yeah, the hook list is too long. It's just like the Safeway receipt, bro.
Yeah. All right.
All
Well,
right.
I think we transitioned to NFL now.
Yeah, you with it?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All
I'm
right,
fired
let's
up.
get it.
I've got two spots personally. We obviously collabed on one, but I'm excited to get into those two.
All
I've
right.
got
Yeah.
some
So what's
locks for this weekend.
yeah what Spade and I normally do on like a not like a day-to-day basis, but maybe like twice a week for these NFL slates. This is just for NFL. We'll go and we'll basically go game by game and kind of work our way through looking at every game, the spread, the game total, like who's home, who's away, and then we'll go through all of our like advanced analytics sites and kind of pull data to kind of match our priors. So that's I guess we're basically just gonna give you a taste of what we do with that right now. So we'll get
Yeah.
going with that. First of all, I hate the Niners. I hate them.
Yeah,
They suck.
actually, wait. I had this here waiting for this
I
moment
got
for when we
the little
transition to
thing.
the NFL.
No, put
Or
that
to,
away.
dude, I have to say,
Put it
I'm so
away.
sorry. I'm so sorry to anyone who started any Niners or Rams players besides Puka in
Yeah,
fantasy
okay.
last week
Let's
or
talk
this
about
week.
I wanna
Yeah,
air
let's
some dirty
actually.
laundry.
Yeah, we
Okay.
gotta actually talk
So
about the NFL game last night.
okay, so Spade and I we had Puka under 25 and a half, 26 and a half longest reception. We played it at two spots because it was DubClub and then Twitter.
And
Dude
I
was
hate
averaging
longest reception props, but it looked
but it
too
was
good, bro. It looked too
it,
good.
it was so sharp. Through the
Yeah.
like it was 8 minutes left in the fourth. His longest reception over 3.5, 3.5 GPA. That's funny. Over.
I got the over, bro, easily. I've been
Over.
killing it.
Over.
Yeah,
Yeah, but yeah,
absolute
so
diamonds.
the last night, okay, he's sitting at 8 yards as his longest reception up until 8 minutes in the fourth. And then our Niners, we're both Niners fans, our bummy defense, completely broken play over the top for 51. The silence spoke more.
That
The silence we were
it was
watching there,
crazy.
the silence spoke volumes. It was absolutely insane. He was getting clamped. They were running him in motion, and then they'd attack him right at the point of the catch. Nothing. It's like 4 yards, 3 yards, 5
Yeah,
yards.
it looked
And then
good.
our stupid DBs, they
I
decided
was
to do what the
actually
Niners do, and they choke. So
talking to my
yeah.
roommate about it last night. If you look, I'm just gonna make you relive it real quick. If we check out Puka's catches, let's see real quick. He's got 7 yard catch, 4 yard catch, 8 yard catch, 7 yard catch, 7 yard catch,
So sad.
13 yard catch, surgical. That's 6 catches under 14 yards. And then the last catch he got was a 51 yard nuke. Dude, that was crazy. But it's all
I don't
right.
even.
It
I don't
happens
even.
sometimes. We
I don't even
gotta,
want to talk about it.
yeah. Unfortunately, and something as a Niners fan that I'm also upset about was Mr. Dwebo absolutely choking the ball multiple times.
2 drops.
It's mental,
Two
dude.
drops.
He's in his own head. you like in sports, there's slumps, but you're obviously can get in your own head really easily.
When you're not a top flight receiver and your game's built off pure athleticism and you start to lose that athleticism, it shines through very quickly.
Yeah,
And it's evident that he kind of sucks now. And I have a Debo jersey.
He's so talented,
so
dude.
awesome.
But we all know that. But he's just he's lacking, and he's kind of making it like funnier because he's complaining and getting clowned. So it's like it's public,
noted.
It's public. Yeah. It's not someone struggling in silent.
Oh,
but
geez,
yeah,
whatever. All right. Enough of our Niners. It's gonna make me mad.
We'll stop with the Niners sad talk real quick.
Yeah, no more Niners talk.
We'll get into some plays for the weekend. Yeah.
All right. Do you wanna go through our collab spot first? Just the one that we got.
Yeah. So if you go ahead and pull up his chart, I'm gonna pull up our write up, and I'm just gonna kind of go from our write up because
you put it up with wins this season. All right.
Yeah.
You want to give him the.
A spot that has there been any line movement? I'm not looking.
Yeah, there's some movement. FanDuel's down to 25.5, but it's 26.5 on most books.
Still,
it's a little bit
still available.
Yeah, decent odds too. Actually, like you can get minus 120, minus 125. Yeah.
Yeah, I got it at minus 120. No, we got it at minus 115. Yeah.
Yeah, 115 on DK. Yeah.
All right, so in wins this season, Lamar's covered his line in just 25% of the games, averaging just 24.6 pass attempts per game. This is also skewed by a 42 pass attempt game against the Bengals, where the Baltimore Ravens won in overtime. So if you remove that game from this sample, Lamar has averaged just 22 attempts per game in wins this season. And this game has a 16-point favorite for the Ravens. I'm sure we've been aware, if you've been looking at the NFL slate, I'm sure that stuck out to you. And I think that is honestly pretty accurate. I think the Ravens are going to take away this game with Tommy DeVito starting for the Giants. But Lamar has yet to cover this line in a double-digit win this season, averaging 19.6 pass attempts per game. And over the last month, the Ravens ranked third to the last in the league in pass rate over expectation. They definitely identify with their run game. And I doubt they sway away from this on Sunday, as I definitely see Henry getting a ton of carries. This reflects in his 20.5 rush attempt line as well. That's pretty steep, but I definitely think he does near it if he doesn't cover it. Overall, a great spot to back this under for Lamar in what should be a very dominant Ravens performance. Hey, shout out Justin in the chat. This is my two goats that made me billions.
What?
Yeah, someone in the chat. If you look at the live stream chat on, I think it's on, if you look on the stream on Riverside. Shout out Justin, bro.
That's funny.
It's what we like to hear, baby.
But yeah, now this billions. That's this spot though. Just circling back to it, it's just too high. Like it's the same read I had. I think we collabed on it last week with Q Quentin Locke. Shout out him.
Yes, sir.
Same read with like Jalen Hurts. Just every week I'm looking for the game that has over a 10.5, 12.5 point spread. Finding that quarterback and looking at that attempt line. Most of the time, if that's over, depending on the scheme, the system, like the pass rate and everything like that, that's a big stat with that pass rate over expectation. What a team does in a neutral game script, that kind of dictates the game flow, right? So with the Ravens, you mentioned it. Yeah, so when you mentioned it, so like over the last month, the Ravens are third to last in the league in pass rate over expectation. They want to run the ball. Obviously, that's why they went and got Derrick Henry, right? But when they are neutral, meaning like I think it's within 7 points of the game, they're running the ball. Like they just want to run the ball. They're not going to pass. Why would Lamar toss it 27 times in a game they're supposed to win by 17?
Along with his great hit rate, look at the defense for the Giants. They're pretty tough actually on passing, and they've allowed running backs to absolutely feast. Now, this might be also skewed to the fact that they are usually getting the ball ran on them more, but they still have allowed running backs to perform well against them.
Yeah, they're not.
I think Derrick Henry has a field day, and I have him in fantasy, so I'm really excited.
Playoffs locked. Yeah, like the Giants they're not an easy matchup for receivers either. So I mean, it kind of correlates, right? Like horrible run defense, decent pass defense, 16.5 point spread. run the ball, right? It's just kind of the math of that a little bit. Right?
And I saw that Rashad Bateman was active, but if he was ruled out, that
Mhm.
would have been even crazier. But I'm gonna check out
Also,
real quick
Pickens
what
is
like
out.
I'm gonna see what they're expecting out of guys like this. I'm gonna look at Zay Flowers' line. See,
Yeah.
so he's got
Pickens is
a
out, by the way.
4.5. Oh yeah, I assumed so after
Yeah, just
hearing what
gotta
was
believe.
happening. Damn, that's crazy, bro. So he for real wasn't ducking Greg Newsome last week. I guess he actually is injured.
Yeah, he probably wanted to play so bad, dude. I don't blame him. He's talking
Bro,
crazy.
I love how he was talking that trash and literally got
Like
ruled out like an hour later, and
talking
I
absolutely
couldn't wait
crazy.
to see that. But
Yeah, I know.
just for reference, Zay Flowers is heavily favored, not heavily, but he's minus 130 to go under 4.5 receptions and favored to go under 56 receiving yards. I mean, that doesn't mean anything in the end of the day. I was just curious as to what the books had like the wide receiver
Yeah,
set at. I mean,
yeah.
Zay
I mean,
hasn't
and
even.
yeah,
I don't know. He's been more consistent.
yeah.
There
I'd
were some
steer clear of the
frustrating
passing
games for
game.
him.
I'd
Yeah.
probably steer clear of the passing game for the Ravens in this one. I don't
Oh
think
yeah.
it's worth it.
No, the play for this game, and we've already been
Lamar
talking about it a ton.
glazing it.
It needs enough glazing. Yeah, it
Yeah,
couldn't get enough in my opinion. Lamar
I
under
agree.
26 and a half pass attempts. So that's a
Yep,
great spot that you
that
guys
is the
need to be
spot.
playing for this weekend before it moves. I could see it closing at
That's going to
25 and a
move.
half. Yeah,
Yeah, it's gonna move.
good
I'd hop on
spot.
that right now while you can. Yep.
Yeah. If you
All
want to
right.
trend, I got a play that I want to share as well.
You
It
want me to get one?
actually
Yep.
is already on the move, but if you can go to
It
Jameis
is.
Winston,
Jimmy's. Here we go.
man,
Not wins. Straight up, and then I'm gonna filter in your snap percentage so they can get rid of that little
yeah,
stupid one.
yeah.
There we go.
In games that he's starting. So this has been a wagon. If you guys look at this, the only time he hasn't covered this was in the Blizzard game against Pittsburgh. And this is overall just a spot that I've been playing since the game against the Chargers. So this has been absolutely printing. That means we've cashed this 4 times. I did not play it in the Buffalo game because of the Blizzard. So we were 4 for 4 on Winston cashing us on the pass attempts. So you can still get this at, is that line real than minus 105
I don't know.
MGM?
Let me check. Let me check.
Because
Everything
I
real
got it
quick.
at 34 and a half. However, it is starting to move at 35 and a half on a ton of books. I was surprised that moved overnight. I locked that in, paired with Jamar, or, well, not Jamar, paired with Lamar. Jeez, last night,
Yeah,
and
it's
that's a great
34.
spot that I personally love. Since becoming the starter, if you look, 41, 46, 46, 58, 41. Just an overall great spot, especially going up against Kansas City,
Yeah.
who have a great run defense. I don't think that Chubb, I mean, he hasn't even been too spectacular. I'm glad that he's back, but still, he hasn't been producing anything crazy. I definitely think they continue this trend of sticking with the pass. I saw that Cedric Tillman was ruled out this week, but Judy's been
Judy.
balling. Yeah, he's going to be locked in. Kind of wanted Tillman to come back just for more options. He's a bowler
Yeah.
too, but this is just a great spot overall. This does show that even without him, he's still passing a ton. And
Yeah.
who's to say this is worth a ladder towards a higher line? I would definitely say you could
Whoa.
play this up to 37 and a half if you wanted to for
Ooh.
a little bit of a plus money action.
Yeah, I agree. If I could add one thing to this thing as well, I don't know if you mentioned it already. I may have spaced, but the pass rate over expectation for the
And I did not.
Browns. Yeah, so the
Yeah.
Browns, since Jameis became the starter, are 10th in the league in pass rate over expectation. So, like I explained earlier, they're passing it on a neutral game script. So they want to air it out. Obviously, Jameis is a baller. They're going to be throwing, and that mixed with Casey's like top flight run defense, he's gonna dime, right? Like he hasn't even he's gotten 40 plus in every game that hasn't been like a snow game, a blizzard game. So I think it's a lock. I haven't
Can you
personally locked it in,
switch?
but I will.
Could you switch that defense over to the wide receiver?
Yeah,
Just see how KC matches
it's
up
not
against wideouts.
nothing. It's not. I mean, they have a really good defense, but It's more so.
I
Like,
mean,
he
but
doesn't
look
need
at
to
that.
complete
It says
them.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. I was looking at the rush yards at first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to complete the passes. He's just gotta throw them.
Yeah.
Right. And then
Well, that's
he's good for a
and
pick.
he's gonna
So
throw a pick. We're gonna
yeah,
get this
he's good
game
for a pick.
scripted while most likely. One thing to note, they're only 4-point underdogs, which is kind of crazy.
Is it
But
in Pittsburgh, right? Or not
yeah,
Pittsburgh, sorry. Is it in
Cleveland,
Cleveland?
Cleveland.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
the dog pound boy, Cleveland.
Yeah, let's just talk
But
about how
yeah,
much better Jameis Winston is than Deshaun Watson too. And Joe Flacco is so much better
actually,
than
just to
Deshaun
see,
Watson.
can you press that? Actually, well, it's gonna be green all the way if you press at home because that filters out the
Oh no,
Buffalo
that
game.
was no, that's the Pittsburgh one. That's the one you're talking about. And that one
Oh
was
shit, I
actually
forgot that it was Cleveland
yeah.
that it was snowing in that one. Yeah, that was a cool one to watch though.
That was
Um,
a very fun watch.
do you want to go into the
Yeah,
Montgomery angle that you were
yeah, for
looking at?
sure. Yeah. All right.
And then
So
after
this
that, we
one,
can
it's
just start going game by
Montgomery.
game.
Wow, it's seen movement already. Holy.
It's in a ton.
Shout out to the Discord member that got it at 12.5. That was insane.
Yeah, you can see
So
it at
yeah,
MGM. That was the opening line.
that's fake. That's not there
Yeah,
anymore. But
I know.
so I locked in Monty at 14.5. So still a 2 point bump for where it opened. But this season has just been kind of like a wagon for me, at least like the past 2 weeks. But I've seen it every week and it's there, right? So I
Yeah,
brought this up on
Monty has been going crazy.
no, he's been eating. You can see from the targets right there too. I brought this up on the Prop the Mic show yesterday. Shout out those boys as well. Some
Yeah,
goats.
goats.
So
Real talk.
he's ranked number one in the league running back wise for in the receiving game, like his PFF grade. So he's just been an absolute like beast in the receiving game this year, which is kind of funny when you think of like Jameer Gibbs, you think pass catching, but honestly their targets have been about even, and then he's just like he's getting those design screenplays too. So those are high value targets Monty's getting. They're not just like little dump away like 1 to 2 yard gainers. Those are like we're setting them up. We're taking Panay Sewell out wide. He's knocking over four dudes, and then Monty's going for like 20 or like 15. It's just been a spot, and you can see with the target volume as well. 5, 3, 3, 3. So 3+ in his last was it 5 of his last 6? Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's
that's
just
definitely trending upwards. Could you also
yeah. Give
check
me
out
that
his
volume.
yards after catch?
Yeah.
Does it have that? Yeah, it does.
That's wow. 30. Wait, is that right?
Yeah.
36,
So
35.
yeah, that was something I definitely wanted to point out because just from watching David Montgomery, we all know that he is an absolute tank and he's been carrying the ball like crazy after catching it. So he's been absolutely
Yeah,
going
it's a spot.
crazy.
Yeah. Buffalo
Also,
too.
yeah, Buffalo's defense, although are starting to work on it, in my opinion, I mean, I feel like that's the last thing they need before they're absolutely just not 100 overall. Is they just need to fix their
Bro.
defense.
They've been no their defense.
Um,
Yeah, it's been bad in terms of running back catches for sure. Like they've tightened up
no,
receiving wise, but
overall, like I feel like they can just do better. They're allowing it.
oh
They're
yeah,
letting up a ton of points.
due to the
Yeah,
yeah I know that Rams you shouldn't if you're a Super Bowl contending team the Rams should not be putting up 40 plus on you. But yeah,
yeah.
I
So,
mean
but yeah, we all know
running
that
back
this was
funnel
a
though.
target too. Yeah,
Yeah,
this was a
running back
target all
funnel.
season.
So this is the running back like stats against them from the receiving game. Obviously, like second most receptions, yards wise, it's also very nice. Like second most receiving yards to running backs. I think their backfield target rate, which is something else like a stat I use on this other website. I think it's top 10 in the league on the season or top 5. I think it's gone down a little bit recently, but that's being skewed a little bit by some poor performances from like non-receiving backs. If we look here, like Hiron's not getting the target volume we want. CMC had 14 in the first quarter and then got hurt, so that he was definitely on pace to beat that. Obviously, Kareem Hunt's not. I don't even want to talk about that McCaffrey pick
I
either.
just saw the text from Alex saying Devo so washed.
Yeah,
That just
it's
made me
true.
like
It's
just laugh seeing that in the chat. Yeah,
yeah,
fucking or
laughing on the outside,
Dweebo.
crying internally.
Yeah,
It's,
seriously.
but yeah,
He's
no,
gonna
it's
have a breakout game though, and I'm
when
gonna be wishing that I had hammered his
when
49 receiving yard when he has like 120.
I don't think dude, if it was gonna be a
I
breakout game, it
think
was last game.
I think he's gonna do
He
it,
owns the
bro.
Rams, huh?
I think he's gonna do it eventually. I think he's gonna
No, he's
have a
gonna
really
pull
good game.
Devondre Campbell and he's gonna walk off the field. Did you see that?
Yeah, that was actually I actually didn't
He
even
left.
notice that last night when we were watching the game,
You
but
know why we didn't notice? Because he sucks.
Because we were too upset about Puka.
We were too upset about Puka, and then also Devondre Campbell doesn't belong on the NFL field anymore. So you're gonna leave your team in the third quarter is absolutely crazy.
Yeah, that's so. Their tight end and fullback run better routes than Debo. Yeah, he's earned the Dwebo, Alex.
Their tight end. Juszczyk is a better receiver at this point in his career than than Debo for sure.
For real.
But yeah, so
all right. Well,
all right,
if you want to
Niners
just
tangent.
start going into some games that just go game by game like we normally do, and just go over some spots that we could possibly check out for this weekend.
Yeah, we'll get through a couple of these. Okay, so I guess we can just start with the Jets versus Jacksonville as well. I remember when we were looking the other day, I was peeping Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, this is going to be a very pass-heavy game for Aaron Rodgers. Also, a spot I looked at for this game last night was Aaron Rodgers over 33.5 pass attempts. I just think this is going to be a very high passing game for him. Obviously, we know Jacksonville's defense is absolute Swiss against the pass. But look at that. He's been slinging the rock even against tougher matchups. We know Miami has a pretty good secondary. I mean, that's because of the game script that they normally have to have. Even though didn't that one also end up going to – they never got a drive in OT. They ended up losing on that Miami drive in OT.
So.
Yeah. Jonas Smith ended up going crazy for him.
Miami. Oh, in OT. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it?
So, yeah, that's good spots for this game.
Yeah, and Breece Hall is probably out. So
yeah, so he's probably out. I saw the tweet from Underdog NFL today that
limited.
Jets hope he plays. I would hope he's playing as well if I was the Jets. But
that's a very
I don't think he is. We know he messed up his knee. So that's a good spot as well. I think this will probably we already see this is actually crazy. You can get it at minus 130 on DraftKings at 33.5. That's a real line. And it's already moving. I don't know is that FanDuel line at 35.5 real? Because if so, you guys are going to have to lock in this right now before it bumps up, because I definitely think Aaron Rodgers covers this line against Jacksonville this weekend. And it correlates nicely with Mailman's spot that he likes of Garrett Wilson. We were checking out earlier this week when we were labbing both Garrett Wilson and Davante Adams. They both have favorable matchups in this game, obviously due to Jacksonville's defense against the pass. Yeah, it's absolute Swiss, as I'd like to say. But we're liking Garrett Wilson a little more.
That FanDuel line is real. So
yeah,
all major books are sitting at minus 130 right now at 33.5. That's going to move to 34.5 at least. If one book's already at 35, that's probably going to correct itself. So probably
so that's 34. If you can grab that 33.5 pass attempts line. In fact, I haven't even myself locked that in officially, so I need to go ahead and hurry up because slow feed don't eat. It's still available on Chalkboard, so I'm gonna grab that probably.
Say the thing. Give him your code.
No.
Nah. All right. So
if you don't eat, that line is going to move heavily. I see that closing for sure at 35.5. If it's already sitting at 35.5 on FanDuel, make sure to grab it. It's available on DFS, Chalkboard, Underdog. Definitely not Prize Picks. What do you want to go over Garrett Wilson for the people real quick and give them your perspective on why he has a good matchup?
Yeah, so obviously we've talked about it. The Jags suck. Their secondary sucks. They run a ton of man coverage, and I don't have the exact stats up in front of me, but when I was looking yesterday, I think they run a lot of cover one. I think it's a lot of single high. So when you kind of filter through, the target share kind of changes based on the coverage for Davante and Wilson. I think Davante actually has a higher target rate since joining the Jets versus
he
man
does.
Coverage.
We saw that he had a consistent higher target.
Yeah, it's like 33 or something like that. But I think the Jags run a ton of cover one. I don't have it up in front of me, but they run a lot of cover one. I think Garrett Wilson had an edge versus cover one, and also I think Wilson's line is lower still. I think from a yards perspective, I remember yesterday it was at like 62, so it's like 61 right now. And then Davante's sitting up he was at 66 yesterday, so that's correcting a little bit. But if that's real, that's ridiculous. I don't think that's real though. 58.5. But Just like
Yeah, and it's on
it's the
FanDuel. I
same.
mean, that's usually pretty reliable.
Let's
Let me
check
check
it.
right now. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
gonna check
I mean,
if that's a real line. I absolutely love Garrett Wilson at 58.5.
yeah, but kind of echoing that same sentiment. It's just their defense is bad. They're without Brees
Yeah.
Hall, or should be
Hey,
without Brees
check
Hall.
that out. That's a real
Is it
line. Minus 113 on FanDuel.
really?
They're
That's real.
lacking on that one. Normally,
Oh
FanDuel's pretty
wow.
sharp in my opinion.
FanDuel sometimes has some sleeper lines. They tend to like have a couple lackers just sitting
Yeah,
behind,
definitely.
and that's
So
2 yards value pretty much on most
at
books.
minus 113, I think that's a
That's
pretty
even
good
money.
spot for a unit play on Garrett
Yeah,
Wilson.
yeah. hmm And also just looking from a target perspective too. Like obviously Devontae's had a higher share, but look, like when your graph is
Hey,
that low
wait,
for
something to
a
know.
10, yeah.
Hey, check this out. Actually, I'm just looking at their live line, and DraftKings and MGM both just simultaneously bumped down to 59.5. So there's some
Really?
negative line movement on them from all
So that's
books.
probably the Brees news, right? Maybe.
I mean, with them saying that
The
they're hopeful he's
speculation.
playing, I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know if that's causing a line movement, but regardless of the line moving backwards, I love the read for Garrett Wilson to get good looks for this game. He's got a 5.5 receiving yard line, or receptions, my
Yeah.
bad.
5.5.
Um, yeah,
Let's keep this
5.5, and
then.
it's not even plus money. It's minus 115.
So I just want to see this just for sake. Yeah, when he's had 6+ receptions in a game this season, he's cleared pretty easily in all of them.
Yeah,
So
good.
yeah, I think
And it looks
I
good
think those
too.
are two good spots. I'm probably not looking on anything on the Jacksonville side,
I'm
as of
not
right
either.
now.
I think
I
that,
just don't really want to bet on Mac Jones. So
yeah, it's kind of hard. And what do you think, if we're actually talking about this, do you think that the Jets take this game away? Do you think they
like
run away
just
with a lead that's,
outright win.
yeah, do you think they go up by like more than 2 possessions? Let's see what the
Dude, the
line
Jets are
is.
bad, man. The Jets are
Dude, but
bad.
yeah, but Mac Jones is also worse.
Let me see. How have the Jags been?
It's only a 3 point spread for the Jets on the road, so you can give him like an
So
implied like
yeah,
6.
that's not. I mean, they kept it. They kept it close with the
Yeah,
Texans. They
yeah,
got
fair
demolished
enough.
by the Lions. They
I
got
mean,
beat. They kept it seven to
as
twelve
one
versus the
does.
Vikings. 23-28 versus the
That's
Eagles. Like
impressive. And
yeah,
then
like
it's a yeah, it's going to be an interesting one, but I definitely think that they don't run away with it. I just want to know what you thought because I'm not a big Mac Jones fan at all. I'm not going to be touching a single prop from
yeah. I,
Jacksonville.
th- I think it stays close.
Yeah.
I think it stays close enough to keep Rodgers passing it, especially if it's just Braylon Allen and
Yeah.
the backup. I forgot his name, but if it's just Braylon Allen, no Brees, like they're gonna have to be slinging. Especially that Garrett Wilson line seems mispriced to me at 58.5. I
Just
just
got a
don't
question
really.
in real quick.
Yeah.
Um, we don't need to transition back to NBA, but I
hmm
know it's not NFL, but do you guys or have you guys looked at D'Lo assist without LeBron slash RA? So just
Oh,
obviously from knowing that, we know that his usage goes up like
I'm fine to
crazy.
circle back. Yeah, hold on.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, fair enough. He, I feel like the books have caught up though. I was looking and I saw his line was 8.5 assists, if I'm not wrong.
We got 6.5 right here. I think that may have been
RA,
maybe on a fake one. Yeah,
maybe I was.
6.5.
I don't know. I thought I saw his line at 8.5, which I thought was
Oh wow,
absurd earlier. So when looking
look
at
at all that
that,
green.
that at
Oh
six and a
wow.
half, that actually is a solid spot, and that does go fairly well with the fact that I think AD goes under 3.5, controversially.
Controversially, yeah. I mean, I think it's a good spot. I mean, obviously, you're seeing a whole lot of green, which doesn't
Yeah,
necessarily matter, but I really would want to see like the passes made. But obviously, from that, just straight up, it looks nice. Potentials wise, I don't think it's keeping up with the LeBron filter. But I mean, last game obviously
yeah,
against Portland, he had 14, which is nice on 15. So he did have 15 potentials and 14, so he converted at like a unsustainable rate, but still like 7 assists with say 15 potentials. That's most definitely doable.
yeah, definitely.
So
Um,
I think that's a solid spot
Good
at those
spot at the
odds too.
value it's at right now.
Yeah,
What's his
that's
rebounds
cool.
and assist line?
It's probably like, ooh, that might be more. I
Maybe
think
that is
seven
what I
chances.
saw when it was just juicy. I'm not sure what I saw at eight and a
Probably what it
half,
was.
but
Yeah, all
Still
right, all
though,
right, 9.5.
good find, bro. I mean, it's a good spot.
Yeah, I like that.
I
For
had
sure.
steered
That's
clear from it
definitely.
earlier just because I thought his line was so high for some reason. But
No, I saw that too. I saw an 8.5 on like I think I was looking on I think it was one of the sites that we look at, and it was
already at
yeah.
11 and a half at plus 200. Oh, okay, I was like, when I first wrote that, I thought he was gonna say
I
it
got
at
RA
like
at
the
11
normal
and a
line.
half. It's at is it actually at 9.5 though? That seems I don't know.
Hey, look at the chat. He's got already at 11 and a half at plus 200. If you put that chart two covers with at 11 and a half, that's 9 out of 10 right there. Or no, that's 10 out of 11. That's a pretty good
Yeah.
cover
Okay.
rate for a plus 200 prop.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
like that.
yeah,
That's chill.
yeah. So
Obviously
honestly,
Minnesota's got
not
a
bad
good
at all.
defense.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
Minnesota's
definitely
got a
true.
decent defense. But yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Do you
I
think
like that
that
spot.
the Lakers pull a classic Lakers and just give up in the third after getting blown out?
Yeah, are you ready to see Bronny James play 12 minutes in an NBA game tonight? If you're not, don't watch this
Wait,
game.
did he get called? Is he gonna be put?
I don't know, but they're just they're short-handed and it's
Yeah.
I don't know, they might just get blown up. Like just completely just demolished in this game. Could he play tonight? That'd be awesome. Because he just dropped
I don't
30.
think I didn't see anything about him. Yeah, I don't know.
They gotta
I
take
saw
him.
nothing about Bronny getting resurrected to the Lakers full team.
Resurrected. Yeah, no problem, Bryce. That's a great find.
That'd be crazy. Is like after LeBron goes down for personal reasons, all of a sudden Bronny goes off in the G League, gets called back up, starts and drops 40 in the NBA, like a plot twist. Like,
Bro, Bronny's saving the James legacy from the Diddy allegations. Is that basically what you're
dude,
saying?
it could be, bro. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
even know.
All right.
I
No
don't want
more.
to talk
No more.
about the Kings
And
allegations.
yeah, no more. Especially with the dog's middle name being LeBron. That's not a good look.
Dude, yeah, she's back there. She's chilling. She's in her blanket.
All right, let's get through a couple more. I know
Yeah,
you
let's
can run,
definitely
but
go. I want to give a couple leans for some games if you can hop
yeah,
through.
I'm
Let's
back on
just
it.
do what we do. Normally when we lab up, we just go game by game. Are you on are we now on the Washington New Orleans game?
Yep,
So one
yep,
thing I
yep, yep.
wanted to point out for this is that Marshawn Lattimore is finally active after weeks of being on the Commanders and not playing due to injury. So I didn't know how bad he was injured. Um, but with him coming back after such a long rest, I definitely think he's good to go. So that's something to keep in mind. Obviously, with the New Orleans quarterback situation, I just think any receiving prop for any receiver in this game is absolutely off the table.
Yeah.
I don't know about you. I know that
Wow.
and that's why I said only for
Yeah.
wide receivers
Yeah. Don't touch
because
the
I think
receivers.
Kamara
No.
is the only Saints prop worth touching.
Right. Alex said
Um,
no Diddy in the chat.
I just saw
All caps.
But yeah, so you can tell already by this that it's super juiced at 3.5. If you can get this at DFS at a 4 and you're okay with a push, maybe throw it on a 3 leg and get a push if he gets 4. That's actually pretty solid.
Let's
But at 4.5, you can get a good price. I mean, I don't know what I personally have available. Let me check if I can get 4.5 at, because I honestly think Kamara at 4.5 receptions in this game at
It's not
plus
bad.
money is a solid spot.
I want to see without Carr.
Yeah, so at
Because
4.5, I'm getting that at plus 111.
plus 111.
Yeah,
I don't mind that. I
2.19x.
feel like honestly that evens out to like I think that goes to like minus 105, minus 110 come game time. I haven't
Yeah.
been able to peep like the backfield target rate.
I
and
mean,
all that
honestly,
for
bro, if
Washington.
the public gets onto it, then even more so. But
Ooh, so
also,
look at that. That's
Kamara
not
has
nice
been
though.
kind of hard to. I don't know. His usage has been kind of interesting recently. If you've been
Yeah,
watching the
I don't like.
games,
Yeah, I don't like that receptions either. Seeing that red on the props cash graph on the receptions.
I
to
mean,
running
that's why
backs.
it's probably plus money. But you
Yeah,
also
but
got to
he's different
consider
though.
that you got to look at when they've had absolute busted QB situations.
That's what
Take
I
out
can't find
Derek
the
Carr.
filter. Yeah, I can't find it. It's not giving it
Press
to me because
it does.
I
Okay,
yeah
you
on
sure?
injuries it's not.
Double
Yeah,
back.
he's not showing up. Yeah, he's not
Oh
showing up.
man. All right.
I know because I want to see with not with Desmond Ritter, but with the backup. I want to see.
Well, I was just
I'm
gonna say
blanking on his name,
take
but I
out
know.
Derek Carr.
Yeah, you can't. unfortunately.
Okay.
I'm not
So
getting the graph.
that's cool. That's cool. But yeah, also with Taysom Hill going down, I just think that Kamara's going to have to play more in this game.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's one spot. I don't want to take too much time on the Saints with busted QB. I want.
It's
Let me look
disrespectful. I
up.
can't remember his name. Hold on.
I know. Hold
I
on.
don't
The
know.
Saints.
Spencer Rattler.
I'm
Spencer
looking it
Rattler.
up.
Yeah.
No, it's
he's
not.
Rattler.
It's not.
Jake
It's
Hayner?
Jake Hayner, bro.
Okay, yeah, Jake Hayner. Yeah, I knew
Yeah,
his
it's
name. I
Jake
thought it was
Hayner.
Rattler, but he's been relegated, right?
Yeah, it's
So,
Jake Hayner.
Yeah. Okay.
How do you
No,
how do
I
you
don't
see
think-
line movement from open to close? Well, we're usually pretty on the opening line, so we just kind of have it in our mind as well. Sometimes on Props Cash, they have one where it shows the opening line. For example, with Aaron Rodgers, it showed the opening line at 33.5 all the way to what some books had at 35.5.
Yeah.
Um,
I think that's a
what
solid
about
spot at
the
plus money.
what about the Commanders side for this game? Got them coming
see
fresh
pass
off the
attempts.
bye week too.
Yeah, so I wanted to look at pass attempts a little bit. They're 7.5-point road favorites. And I just kind of wanted to look at it a little bit. I know they've had Jaden passing a little bit more recently, but if we can get that at 30.5, I don't know if that's real or not, but that's obviously only one book.
So you're
It's
liking
been,
the under on
yeah,
30 and a half.
not even. I'm just honestly just looking at it. Like I just kind of want to see what it's
Yeah,
like because
that is a good
New
line on
Orleans-
FanDuel that we can see is moving to 28.5 on a ton of books. This is playing the game
Yeah.
script again that they
Mhm.
get a crazy lead. Let me check what the game spread is for this game. The
It's
Commanders are
7.5.
favored by one touchdown.
7.5, yeah.
Can you check out what Brian Robinson's line's looking like? Because
it was
Austin
pretty
Eckler
high.
is still out with a concussion.
I'm gonna guess 74.5. Oh my goodness! Right on the money. This is
Jesus.
who
That
I
is
am.
quite high. But
yeah,
remember, he absolutely he went crazy against Texas. Wait, no, not even Texas. He went
Tennessee.
crazy against Tennessee.
It's a good run
And
defense.
yeah, and he looked amazing after being injured. He's been playing with my fantasy team, but
Again, if that's a line, I don't know.
yeah, I think 16.5 is a good. Are you looking at 15.5? FanDuel,
there's
bro,
15,
15.5 on FanDuel is crazy. They're giving out really soft lines, in my opinion.
Yeah, they are.
We
They're
found
not-
a
they're not
couple
locked this week.
FanDuel lines. If you have FanDuel available to you, unfortunately, we don't have FanDuel or DraftKings.
Bookies.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but definitely tap in with FanDuel. They're kind of handing out some softies right now.
Yeah.
So,
I've got
from
a
that game,
spot.
yeah, let's see it.
So it's not for this game, but it's a spot that I actually was looking at. I've got two spots that I want to mention. And it's two players that we played last week that were really sweaty. One shocked us, or one shocked me in specific, but it was Chuba Hubbard. But last week I had Chuba's under rush attempts because I thought that the Eagles would be in the lead the whole game. All of a sudden, Jonathan Brooks goes down again. Unfortunately, tears his ACL again, which really sucks. But
That sucks so much.
I
That's
know.
horrible.
But now Chuba is in line to take absolute workhorse status pretty much. If you look, something I want to point out, look at his snap share. Last game, he played a season high 97% snap share.
97.
Yep.
Let's see without Brooks as well. If we can get that filter going too.
So
Obviously,
that
it's
just
gonna
shows
give us
alone
some
he's
rotations.
being trusted more and more, and you can see that trend throughout the entire season. We watched that happen, but he's the guy now, and his rush attempt line is high.
Yeah.
And I was looking at it at 18.5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looking like that's already moving, which at 19.5, I honestly don't even really advise playing
I
it.
don't think you could.
That is
touch
such a
yeah.
crazy high line. And you can see, obviously, the hit rate is not there. But there's a reason this line is so high. I'm assuming that he's going to have a workhorse game, especially with this being the first game of the entire season. We'll see if this holds true. But if this is the first game that they're actually favored. They're favored by 3 points at home. And I just think it's a great spot for Chuba to take advantage and take over. If you're on DFS apps, I like his fantasy score, as I also think he finds the end zone. Dallas's rush defense has been pretty bad. And he's been used in the pass game a lot too. So That's a good spot in general, in my opinion. The
Yeah, I
Panthers
do
are
like it.
seriously negative or minus 155 over the Cowboys this weekend.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to bring up with Chuba, with Parsons and Kendricks back for their defense, they've been a little bit tougher against the run. I think just a little bit, and
It's good to
I do
point
like
out.
his attempts. Yeah, so I just wanted to bring that up because with Parsons and Kendricks back, like this, I mean, obviously it's not direct correlation, but they held Saquon to 66. Joe
Yeah, I
went
mean,
nuts, but it's just something to bring
and
up. It's yeah,
that's a good reason to possibly sway me away from playing any rush yard line for him. I mean,
I
it's
do
already
like this
set
though.
pretty high.
I do
What do
like
you?
this. I do
Let me
like
see.
Chuba receiving, I think, a little bit too. I wanted to look a little bit more into
Okay,
that as well.
we
But
know, and this and Bryce Young has been slinging it. I haven't
yeah,
played Chuba. That was just a spot I wanted to point out that
no,
I
it's a
think
good
it's a
look.
favorable matchup. If you have Chuba in your
100%.
fantasy team, definitely start him this week.
Yeah,
Obviously, I'm pretty
you're
sure we
speaking to
all know
me.
that.
You're
Oh,
speaking to
g-
me.
go crazy, bro. That's a good pick. That's a good person to have this season.
That was a 12th
Um,
round pick for me.
yeah, the other spot I just wanted to mention before you go into the spot that you wanted to point out, I just
Hmm.
wanted to, you can go into this after, was Jalen Hurts over 25 and a half pass attempts
Okay.
against Pittsburgh.
You want,
But yeah,
you want to dive into that right after?
yeah.
Okay, so just with Bryce Young, obviously the attempts have been there. We've seen 30 plus in three of last three, which is really nice. Obviously, like Dallas, like I said, a little bit better against the run since Kendricks and Parsons came back. It's just more so of a lean for me. Like the only quarterback to not hit it in the last 4 weeks is Drew Lock, and Drew Lock might be one of the worst quarterbacks in the league. I didn't know if it can get worse than DeVito, but I guess it can. But just a spot. This opened at like 195, which I would have much preferred. It's moved to 205 now, but I still think the volume's going to be there. They are very, to speak to Spade's point though, they are a very run heavy team. Like their pass rate over expectations, I think, bottom 10. So they want to obviously keep the ball out of his hands, give it to Chuba 25 times, just let that guy eat. So I do like that spot a lot too. Just to bring up the point of like Parsons just as like a maybe bring rush receiving into the look or something like that. But I do like that as a spot as well.
Yeah,
So that
definitely a
was
good
definitely
spot.
one
Bryce
to
has
look
looked good.
at.
I'm happy for him. I feel like they are making the good decision. I mean, the injury for Andy Dalton kind of thrusted him back into the position he's in now. But
Mhm.
I'm glad that happened, kind of. Not to say I'm glad that Andy Dalton got into a
Whoa,
car
Andy Dalton
crash.
hater, dude.
Hey,
What are you
not at all. The
doing?
Red Rifle is an absolute stud. But I'm happy for the boy. I'm happy for the youngin because he was down. I mean, he obviously
Oh yeah,
wasn't living up
he looked
to the
defeated.
expectation. Yeah, but to see him doing well makes me pretty happy.
Makes me warm and fuzzy
So
inside. See Bryce Young doing
yeah,
well.
this is also just a spot I wanted to hear your opinion about that we haven't talked about that was looking at. Obviously, Pittsburgh's run defense is really good. They're allowing the least rush attempts and the least rush yards to. Can you switch to actually? Wait, I thought that. Can you switch to in general to running backs? I know it's good though.
Oh,
They're allowing these. What
oh
is
yeah.
that? Six rush yards, least rush yards, and seventh least rush attempts. And I do think that this game, with Pickens out still, remains competitive. The Steelers are playoff absolute. They're going far this year. They're studs. And I think they keep this game in line, even with Pickens out. And we all saw that A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith are pretty upset with how the passing has been. Not really spoken out to by Devonta, but AJ's obviously voiced his concerns. And it's been pointed out that Jalen Hurts has not been passing the ball very well this season, and I know that for sure. But I do think that he's going to come out and have to pass in this game, especially with the tough defense that is going to be um, there for Saquon.
Yeah. Looking at this spot just from a blanket perspective, like I would like it more if Pickens was active, just from an explosive standpoint for like the
From a
Steelers to have a
game like
shorter.
for the plot of the game for it to go correctly, I agree.
Just having
But
shorter possessions on the Steelers side, because that's one thing that these teams both like to do is they like to keep and hold the ball for 6 minutes at a time. So
definitely,
if you're getting fewer drives, like I honestly, and you know the Eagles just love to run the ball. right? So maybe
Yeah,
like
what is
from
what is Saquon's rush attempt line?
yeah, that's actually an interesting.
Just
spot. I want to
curious
see that.
what it's set at.
It's at 99, dude. We haven't seen a guy set this high like week to week in a bit.
Bro, 99 against the
Crazy.
Steelers is crazy.
That is crazy. 20 and a half.
And
so
the thing is,
like
oh my God, that's actually crazy.
FanDuel.
FanDuel's
Yeah, but like
lacking.
I get.
That's
I like
hard.
the
So
read from
yeah, looking at it from how I think the game will go personally, I like Jalen Hurts, but it's hard to take it with how dominant the Eagles have
they
been
can just run
on the
yeah.
ground. Yeah.
So one thing I might like is like a potential pivot from a Hurts attempts is maybe a long completion or a passing long.
Yeah.
So
With
just from the standpoint of this is just a complete like just throw out here like this is the first time I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
But obviously like I like to see that. Like that's nice to see that the Steelers are allowing some long completions. Let me take an actual closer look. So Burrow
That's all to
obviously been
see.
slinging it down the field. 42 for Lamar is also very nice. 54 for Jaden Daniels. And then also, if you want to swing that narrative of an A.J. Brown perspective and to give him a deep target or two in this game, especially with apparently they've been a little bit vulnerable deep, I do like that maybe as a spot. And at 34 and a half, that's one of the lower lines we're seeing on this chart. Like James is at 33 and a half. Daniels at 33, 32 for Daniel Jones. You're telling me you're giving me Jalen Hurts 3 yards higher or 2 yards higher than Daniel Jones for a long completion. I mean, I don't mind it.
Yeah. Definitely a good angle.
Especially
I like
with
that.
Smitty and AJ. Like,
I
I don't know.
definitely
I feel like
think
there
we
could be a long
see
bomb.
some, and this is narrative, but I think that after that, AJ Brown is going to get a little bit more involved this week, whether he
Yeah, you wanna peek
converts
that.
on his opportunities or not. But
There's still the books believe Vegas believes still 80 and a half receiving line against.
yeah, and I mean it's because AJ Brown has so much upside.
Oh yeah, honestly, like, so I think I do like that longest completion look as just like a little bit of a lean. Like
Yeah.
if AJ look at the beginning of the season, obviously
You
it's a
like
little
in
bit different
which
now.
one would you say you like more, the Hurts longest pass or the AJ longest reception? I wonder what Devonta Smith's line is.
Yeah, let's check. Smith's probably gonna be around 24, would be my guess, or not. Yeah, maybe like 24 and a half, 20. Oh, 19. Okay, that's.
19 and a
I
half,
mean,
but Devontae Smith
he's a
has been
slot.
so yeah.
Yeah,
I mean
he's a
that looks
slot. He's
really
running
good on
shallow.
paper, but
I would love to check
it's
ADOTs
true.
actually.
Yeah.
Like I don't have it up right here. Actually, we don't need to dive into all that. That's a little bit too deep and with the time we have. But honestly, that Hurts longest completion, not a bad spot just from a first look.
Definitely.
Yeah. Do you want
Um
to get like a couple more spots in
yeah,
here?
for sure.
Maybe one or two. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's
Let's
find
just
one more lean or two.
what games just I'm gonna take a look at all the games and see if there's anything in specific that it's gonna be a particularly
So
good
Chicago versus
game.
Minnesota on Monday night. We know Minnesota is a pass funnel. Like this is just off
Yeah,
the dome.
and I've
Caleb Williams pass attempts.
it's been a tough life for the Chicago Bears fans, but Caleb Williams has shown
I'm
really
sorry,
good.
Lou. I'm
Yeah,
sorry, Lewis.
sorry, shout out to Lewis, the GOAT. But
Yeah.
Caleb Williams has looked really good, and hasn't he already played against Minnesota? And he played really well, if
He
I'm
had
not
47
wrong.
pass attempts the last time they played.
Yeah, and he looked good in that game. They
He
actually
threw
looked
for
really good
340
against. It
yards.
was a close game against the Vikings, and that was obviously he had a ton of action in the air, but
Yeah,
I think there's a
100%.
ton of upside for this one. Caleb Williams is obviously
Yeah.
going to sling the rock. The Bears, at I don't think they get the run game going, and DeAndre Swift is questionable.
There's no way
Um,
they
he's
run the ball well.
yeah, so this is a great spot in my opinion, a great target for a defense that you have to pass on really.
This is a
And
fade too. If he plays,
yeah, if he
I
plays,
love
that's a
this.
honestly I like that as well
I
because
love that.
wasn't it we looked yesterday and the Vikings were allowing something like it was around 4 or under yards per carry.
No, it's like 3.3. Like it's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
so that's really
It's
good in
there with
itself. They're
the
allowing
Ravens.
the second best, or if I'm wrong, the first or second in the league.
Let's check. Yeah, rush
Against
attempts, rush yards. They're
yeah, so they've been
yeah.
killing it in the run D. We know that though. This has been a system all season that you have to pass on the Vikings. What do you
Yeah.
think about what's his pass yards line? Do you like the attempts or the passing
So
yards?
my thing with 223 is that's low, obviously with what he did against them last time. But my
Also,
thought with that is, yeah, what's up?
just before you start with that, also last week we had questionable wide receivers all week, but this week Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, um, they're all good to go. Roma Dunze.
Yeah.
So
So
it was like last
obviously,
week. It was like there was like two of them were questionable all week until in their game time decisions,
yeah,
but they still
he looked
played.
garbage. Yeah,
Yeah,
like Caleb
it
looked
was
garbage
bad
last week.
last week.
I was at the game. He looked he
Yeah,
was just
saw
not good.
IRL, saw the actual Chicago Bears
Yeah,
disaster class
did not look
in
good.
fashion.
But I
Yeah,
mean, what's the spread for this game? The spread for this one's sitting at what
Niners
are we
fans
getting?
sitting
We're
here
getting
talking about the Bears, but
talking about
we're
trash teams, huh?
just yeah, we're
Look at
just talking
ourselves in the
about
mirror.
yeah.
6.5 point spread for the Vikings. So Vikings are favored by 6.5, basically a touchdown. In losses this season for attempts wise, 56% cover, 5 of 9. Obviously threw it for 47 times against Minnesota last game. I'd like to see like snaps per game from like a quickness of play perspective, pace of play. But I do like that spot. Also, I feel like if he gets 33 pass attempts, actually, I was gonna say if he gets 33, he should pass for 220 something. But you never know with him. But that does seem
Yeah,
a little bit low as well, like
32 and a
216.
half. Yeah, and I like that 223 line. 216 is even more beautiful.
I'd love a little correlation slip with Swift under and then Caleb over on passing yards or
Yeah,
attempts,
and if you
and
want to
then
throw in a
yeah,
receiver in there, a little alt line maybe to add into that, I like.
yeah,
We'll have to take a look at coverages, but DJ
yeah,
Moore has been getting more and more involved. Last week he got locked down by the Niners defense that does not allow big
yeah. No
catches
plays, no big plays.
until Puka.
Yeah,
But
until Puka Nacua decides to go for 51, but that's besides the
yeah,
point.
but so yeah, last week he obviously struggled against the Niners, but he still had 6 receptions,
Yeah,
and he's getting targeted a ton. I like if you want to add into that with a little Caleb Williams overpass, DJ Moore, maybe a little alt line down to like 50 plus or 40 plus, and then Swift under rush yards. That's a great play in my opinion.
yeah. I'd love to see coverage stats for that as well, though. I want to see like what Vikings coverage they run because it
Yeah,
depends
that was
if
from a
like
true, and that's why I wanted to take a look at coverages as well. That was just from a
mhm.
volume standpoint.
I like it though.
Also,
Yeah,
here's some news which might have been influencing the movement on the lines we saw earlier, but Brees Hall just fully practiced.
really.
Full practice
After
today,
back-to-back
which
DNPs.
sucks. I'm playing him in fantasy. I was really hoping that you'd get ruled out.
So, oh, that's weird. Okay, so that
Yeah,
kind of changes that.
dude, they're giving him the stim shot in the knee, and he's just
Stim
working through
shot.
it. Yeah,
He is getting the stim shot, dude. No, that's a little
yeah,
bit tough though, actually, because that kind of that Rogers line might see 30.5 now. That might
yeah, yeah. That
that's
actually
interesting.
might move down, but
I'm
I
so
kind of
glad
still
I
like
don't
it
have
anyways against
him.
Jacksonville. Jacksonville
Yeah,
Swiss cheese, but yeah, um,
yeah, definitely
that's a
changes it
good
from a play
spot.
perspective. Yeah,
The Bears passing game script is definitely in play for Monday night. Just know we'll be on that. Possibly even a little Discord slip with some correlation
ooh,
going on. We've been taking advantage of some of those. I had the one for the Packers Lions game that did pretty well.
yeah.
But yeah, so that we'll definitely be excited for that. Is there any probably see here? Falcons Raiders on Monday night is going to be a pooper.
Oh,
I don't know
jeez,
why
I'm not
they
gonna.
paired that with the Bears
Honestly,
and the
I think
Vikings.
I think we covered a
Covered
decent
all the
amount of our
spots that
spots.
we've personally thought about ourselves for this weekend. We're probably going to do a deep dive today or
Yeah,
tomorrow.
100%. 100%.
Um, yeah,
I'm doing that
but
today, so
got
keep a
some great
lookout.
spots for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
definitely
have
some
NFL players as
NFL
well.
plays coming today.
Yeah.
It's Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. But I think I'm about ready to wrap it up if you are.
Yeah, no, I think it was a great first experience, just kind of going through. Had a lot of fun
Yeah,
looking at the
definitely.
lines. Definitely cool.
Yeah,
Yeah. Shout
if
out Alex
real
for letting this
quick,
happen.
yeah,
Also,
for
shout
real,
out
real
Alex.
quick, before we hop off, I'm just gonna give a recap of the NBA plays that we were both covering for today. I'm gonna do my
Yep.
I'll tell them my four. You go ahead and tell them the four you covered. So
Yep.
the NBA plays that we were rocking with before we dived into the NFL was Brandon Miller over 3.5 3-pointers made. James Harden over his 13.5 rebounds and assists. That has moved to 14.5. that is not as preferable if you can line shop that or play at a less unit, like a half unit on the 14.5. If you do decide to play that, good spot overall for him. Pascal Siakam over 6.5 rebounds, and a little bit of a riskier play that was at plus money. I had a half unit on Anthony Davis under 3.5 assists. So those were 4 that I was liking that we went over earlier. I handed off to Mailman to give you guys his 4.
All right. So my 4 official spots for 12-13 NBA slate are Cameron Johnson, 23.5 PR. That's bumped to 24.5 on most books. I'm fine with that. If you want to take it down to 0.75 units, that's also cool. Misic, 6.5 assists. I'm not going to try to say the first name. Don't want to offend anybody. But 6.5 assists. That's been pushed to 7.5 at plus money. But if you can still snag it, 6.5 at like minus 130 range, I'm cool with that. Minus 140 is a little bit of a push, but I'll take that too. Zubac, 11.5 RA. Also seen a lot of movement overnight to 12.5. Some spots 13.5. I'm fine playing at 12.5, but if you can alt that down at favorable odds with maybe another little like parlay spot, I'm cool with that. And then Wemby, 2.5 3-pointers. Again, pretty juiced now. A lot of these spots you gotta tap in overnight, man. That's when it's golden. But 2.5 3-pointers, good matchup. That's the final spot. Also,
great finds, bro.
Real quick, I just wanted to say again, if you check down in the comments in the live stream chat, there will be links to both of our free trials until Christmas Day. So make sure you tap in with us, get in the Discord with us, get active.
It's a great time. It's honestly never been a better time. It's a time of giving. We've been feeling pretty good. Probably going to be doing some special stuff for the people in the Discord come the closer to Christmas. Been really excited with how active the community has been getting recently. So make sure to check it out, you guys. Appreciate everyone that joined up and checked us out while we went through some props today. It was a pleasure, and we'll be back on here soon.
Yep. Have a good day, everyone.